Hello and welcome everyone. This is Type V3 with a Transformers review of the masterpiece MP-32 Optimus Primal, the maximal leader from the series Beast Wars, or as it was known where I grew up, Beasties. Standing at about 6.5 inches tall, Optimus Primal takes the form of a gorilla, but not one that's truly realistic by any standard. Instead, it opts for the stylized, King Kong-inspired CGI beast seen in the original cartoon, and I think Takara Tomy did a pretty good job at replicating that look in figure form. The shapes and proportions seem correct, yet it's the textured surface of the body that really sell the figure's likeness. The metallic blue belly and perfect face sculpt are other notable features. Of course, spinning the toy around reveals a fairly awful sight. I wish the rear legs were cleaner, though, to be honest, I'm not that worried by it. Otherwise, I'm satisfied with this form. Additionally, there's two extra face options you can use in this mode. They are the smiling face and the aggressive face. Swapping them is achieved by pulling off one face and attaching the other. It's a simple process. Articulation is basic in gorilla mode. The head is on a large ball socket. Shoulders have a ratcheting universal joint. There's both a swivel and joint at the elbow. There's also a wrist swivel and an opening hand. Hips are on universal joints with a thigh swivel, though they're severely limited in this form. There's no knees, yet there are ankle tilts and a foot pivot. Primal isn't super articulated in this mode. Still, you can hit core poses with relative ease. Transforming Optimus Primal is where things start to get interesting. Initially, it seems as though this toy transforms in an identical manner to how the character did in the cartoon. Thing is, the actual cartoon transformation completely breaks physics and is impossible to achieve in plastic form. So, for this toy, what you get is a lot more complexity on an otherwise basic in concept transformation. The engineering in the legs, for example, is impressive, while the torso has some very tight clearances. Overall, I wouldn't call it the most intuitive transformation, yet I did find it quite rewarding. This is Optimus Primal. It is without doubt the most perfect rendition to date of the Big Bot himself in toy form. It's as if the maximal leader literally walked off that horribly aged CG cartoon screen and into my hands. I can't fault anything about this toy's appearance. The details and colors are all accurate, and there isn't a single viewing angle to this figure that reveals any flaws. One could point out the multiple panel breaks and the obvious hinge joints as an eyesore, but that would just be some bitter nitpicking. As I see it, this figure is gorgeous from head to toe, front to back, and side to side. Like the gorilla mode, Primal's robot form also gets additional facial expressions. Aside from the default look, there's the open mouth, the smirking face, and finally a mouthless faceplate for battle scenarios. On top of this, the figure's eyes have built-in LEDs which are activated by pressing down on the head. They last for about 10 seconds before slowly fading off. These are powered by LR44 batteries, which aren't included. The toy also features built-in weaponry. There's back cannons which simply rotate forward on a swiveling joint, and each of the arms have pop-up plasma cannons. Both sets of weapons are, of course, cartoon accurate in their detailing and implementation. Lastly, the figure includes a pair of cyber blades. Their metallic finish is nice, and Primal can grip them securely thanks to the tabs in the handle. They can also store on the figure's back, though only in robot form. Articulation for the robot mode starts with the head on a swiveling hinge. Arms are identical to the gorilla form. There's a waist swivel, universal joints at the hips with outward ratchets, double jointed knees with double hinged ankles, and a working piston. Articulation is very good on Primal. He's not an acrobat, but still, all his iconic poses can be hit. So I think I've made it pretty obvious that I love Transformers MP-32 Optimus Primal. He looks gorgeous, has a rich feature set with neat gimmicks, and a surprisingly satisfying transformation. Sure, the gorilla mode isn't without issue, though I don't think anyone's coming to this figure for that specific aspect alone. This is unquestionably one of the best Transformers figures I've handled in a long time. Even so, the thing that sets this masterpiece release apart from all the others is that it was designed with the singular focus of recreating Optimus Primal's on-screen image in plastic form. Most G1 Masterpiece Transformers have struggled in how much they want to reference the cartoon versus the original toy, and no matter how good the final product ended up being, it always felt like there was a certain compromise made. MP Primal has none of that, and that's why for me, this is the greatest of all the Transformers Masterpiece releases. But that's all for me. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next review.